these guys. All right, you guys. Quit your whining about the sound. Told you I'm on the phone with Tom Grassi. Say hi, Tom. So, I think it sounds on now. So, sound. Hey, some of these guys, I wonder about them.
Yes.
So, yeah, I've been kind of busy doing things. I'm printing up more scrap loads. Les wants to buy some of the scrap loads and the gondolas, so I'm getting them set up. Yeah, I've been really kind of busy today. I mean, you know where I'm coming or going.
Yeah. Yeah, I got 12 on the printer. That's to take off. They're for Dwight. I got 12 more to make for him. And
That's cool.
I gotta start that up too.
Did Tammy get hers yet? Do you know?
Yeah, she got hers. Yeah, she told me she got it. That's going off this last screw.
Joe says, so now you want to talk to us. No, I'm just letting you guys hear my conversation, that's all.
Yeah.
James says, I started a layout build. Well, good for you, man. Cool. Yeah, I'm guessing that Curtis wants me to help him with his track plan. So I said, sure, why not? I don't have any idea what room he's got or anything else yet, but he's supposed to send me pictures and stuff. I may go up there, too. It's about not quite an hour away from me. He's a little further north in Florida, so that should be interesting.
Yeah. You know, these terminal blocks, sometimes these screws don't inside them don't go all the way in.
Really? That's not really a good thing. I guess they're just Chinese made, right?
Yeah. Okay, yeah, I got it. Okay, I got all 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11, 12. There are 12 screws on. Well, actually, there's 24, 12 on the other side, but that's where everything's screwed into. Then I'm going to take that one out and put another wire in there. This one will go to the next terminal block. So I need 24. Might need more. Let's see. I got 8 more coming. That's 25. 18 I have. 8 more. So I need just the one. So I'll have 24 here. 1. Add it on. So cover them all.
Cool.
Yeah. I'll have to see. Gotta make another one too. And, I don't think Vinny had a video on tonight because I didn't see anything from him.
I don't think he's doing the BNSF 61, 59 or whatever. He's not doing the train channel or whatever. He's doing a military shipbuilding channel that he created.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
I think he got a little pissed off with the fact that not many people are watching his live stream anymore, you know. But I like Vinny and all, don't get me wrong, but this is going to happen to all of us. Eventually we'll run out of new stuff to show. And when that happens, people will simply stop watching us. I mean, it happens to everybody at some point in time, you know. So it is what it is. But yeah, I did you watch his? He did a live stream or I guess a video, and he was kind of complaining about he's not getting enough subs and all that. And I'm going, well, dude, you know, it's been 2 years. I should have 5 times the subs I got now. Well, yeah, maybe, but I'm still screwing around with 411 subs last I looked, you know, and I've been doing this for what 3 years now. So I mean, you know
Yeah,
what?
but what was he worried about subs for? He has over 4,000 people subbed.
Well, I know, but he wants 24,000. So you know, it's just. I guess it's unfortunately, and I hope he's not listening to this, but it probably comes down to the money because like Tom from Tom's Trains, he was saying, YouTube doesn't pay that much when you're monetized. You really don't make a lot of money. If you don't have 500,000 subs, you're probably not getting much of a paycheck every month. But the thing is I mean, our hobby's kind of what's the word for it? Limited. There's probably more golfers out there than there are train enthusiasts. So if you had a golf channel, you'd probably have 10 million subs if it was any good. But how many people are really into model trains? I mean, there's a lot, but not millions. you know. So, no, Derek, we're not on Shortline Thursday. We're on Bullshit Friday. So, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, yeah, see, James from Dundas Junction, James called, and he says, I'm here for the fun. Absolutely, And when it becomes a job, you need to find a new hobby. And Joe says he's the same here, Jim, 3 years and only 417 subs. He doesn't care. I don't either. I mean, I mean, the reality is I'm not that far away from getting monetized. But how much money do you think I'm actually going to make? Every month, maybe $10.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just. If Tom from Tom's Trains and Things is complaining, well, he's not really complaining, but he's pointing out that he has, I think, 25,000 subs. And he's not making that much money. So if he's not making that much, I'm not going to make shit with 500. But I don't care because...
What are they worried about making money on YouTube for?
Well... I can't speak for everybody realistically, but Joe says this ain't a job, it's for fun only. Well, it is. But some of the guys, and Vinny's included, they're doing it, that's how they're financing their layouts, I suppose. And also, like Tom, he does a lot of, he goes to a lot of train shows. Well, he's on a fixed income too. He's on a Social Security, I think, or a pension, something like that. So, he doesn't have a ton of money to go gallivanting all over the lower half of the country, the train shows, so the revenue he collects from YouTube pays for the train shows. So, and of course if revenue drops off, he's not going to be able to go to all the train shows he used to go on, and I guess he's not happy about that. But, it is what it is. Here, Derek said here, he says, Vinny used an example of how low his viewership was on a model build and then started another channel about model builds. Ironic. Yeah, well...
Yeah, but he goes... What he does, he goes to the train shows and he buys a lot of stuff for himself,
Well, of course he does, because, that's kind of the name of the game, but... and I can't fault him for that specifically, but... there's some people that are not happy with the fact that he's using his YouTube channel basically to make money. And I think when you get to that point, you're going to start losing viewership. Just my opinion, I don't really know, but that's my take on it. So I'm thinking, Jane says I live on pension. Yeah, well, I'm on Social Security. Disability. It doesn't pay a lot, but it pays the bills somewhat. But, I mean, that's why things take time here, because I don't have $10,000 or whatever I need to finish my layout. It's going to take time. But some of these guys are used to making money. And they say a lot of guys say Sparky did the same thing. He got too greedy, and then all of a sudden his money wasn't coming in as fast as he liked, so... And he's not hardly doing any videos or live screens anymore. So there's something going on there, But like I said, when this hobby becomes a job, it's doomed to fail. I think personally, but that's just me, you know. So I don't know.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Yeah,
Everybody's
well,
telling you how they're
I
making
don't.
money now. That's that Artie. My viewer count's all over the place, especially when you guys are on summer break. Yeah, that's true.
No,
Uh,
I didn't get into YouTube to make money. I just
I
got
am
in
not.
there.
I didn't either because realistically, I said you're not going to make much anyway. You know.
Yeah. Especially when they take 30% or whatever it is they take out, then it's not worth it.
Well, that's another thing. That 30% is pretty severe. You know. Now, Rumble. I'm monetized on Rumble, but I don't have the viewers. So I made literally, I kid you not, 3 cents in the last 3 months.
Right.
And I mean, I don't even have enough to cash out on because it just isn't going to work. But I mean, I don't care because, like I said, I'm not doing it for that reason.
Right.
So I just want people to watch it for entertainment and go with
Right.
that.
Exactly.
So I don't know what's going to happen. Like I said, all of us are going to get it. There was a few guys that, well, look at Wilmer for example. I don't think Wilmer ever got monetized, but he got to a point because he used to do the Not Bad series, his videos, and they were really interesting. But like he said, I ran out of stuff to show. What's the point of doing a live stream if you can't show anything new? So he pretty much stopped doing it. He still does On Track Tuesday, 1 week out of the month, which is cool. But I understand his point of view, and I mean, I'm going to be at that point someday. I don't know when I have nothing more to show you, what the hell's the point of the live stream? So this is something we're all going to run into at some point in time. Yes, Derek,
Yeah,
that's
well,
Tom Grassy in the background.
it's always something. There's always something to talk about.
Well, kind of,
Yeah.
but I mean, and once again, it all depends too. If you're doing it for money, and your shows aren't as interesting as they originally were, obviously your income is going to drop down a little bit, maybe completely. So if you're relying on that money, you're probably going to say, well, screw this, I'm not making any money anymore, so I'm not doing any more live streams, which is unfortunately. James says, don't need or want this to be a job. I hear you, James, you're absolutely right. This is supposed to be a fun hobby. We're supposed to help each other out and, you know,
Right.
teach each other, show each other new things, stupid things that we do on occasion, and having fun. Derek says a penny a month, you can retire now, Big Jim. Yeah, I'm already retired, sorted. And retirement sucks unless you're rich, you know that, right?
Yeah.
Nah, it's not that bad, but
Yeah, well, that's,
now
I don't know.
Les makes a point here too. He says the pressure to do weekly vids is the problem, and spreading themselves thin through several other that's true, several other channels. And I'm kind of in that same boat. I do more wise guy videos every week than I do a live stream. I mean, the wise guy videos aren't live, but I do sometimes 3 or 4 a week. It's an all-day job to record it, edit it, and then post it. So, but I don't. It's still not a job for me. It's just something I enjoy doing. So, Harley's having a fit out there. What's going on?
Yeah, you hear something outside. You need to hear something. You want to go out, Harley? You want to go out? You want to go outside? Okay. There you go. Go ahead. Go yell at him. Okay, she's going out there and barking at the world now.
There you go.
Mhm.
And Artie says, Les, you're right. One will run out of content even if I have run out of content. Or even I have run out of content. Well, you kind of do, but not really. I mean, and of course it's a lot of, how much, what's the right word for it? How much pride you take in your work. I mean, if you don't think you're doing something good enough, you won't post it. So in your mind, you're running out. But the reality is, everything we do is interesting to somebody. Maybe not everybody, but somebody might be interested in it. So therefore, it's a worthwhile venture.
Right.
Derek says, Big Jim, that's when everyone tears down their layout and starts over. I've done that too many times. I'm not tearing this one down ever again. This is it. I may add on to it, but I am not tearing it down.
Right. The only way I would do this is if I won the $1 billion.
Yeah, right?
Then I would.
Yeah, I'm thinking that's probably not going to happen, so, I'm not going to worry about it, but you got to play to win anyway, and I don't play, so. But, I don't know, like I said, it's just, yeah, we went through this discussion came up about a year or so ago. The whole monetization thing and how some of the guys were doing this for the money only. And, I'm sure I pissed off a lot of people because I said, if you're doing this to make a buck, you're in the wrong hobby. So, hey Ray, how's it going? And I do it because it's fun, I'm not that experienced at it. I'm in some ways not even that good at what I do, but I figure somebody might be interested in it, and if it helps somebody, good for me, good for them.
Right. Hey, you know what I have to do? These wires are only like 1.5 inches long, and I have to get a pair of pliers to hold the wire as I trim off the one end, because my fingers can't hold it.
Oh, yeah. Like needle nose or something?
Yeah, needle nose, yeah.
What are you working on where the wires are so short?
Yeah, well, that's because I'm making these loops on these terminal blocks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'll take a picture and I'll show you.
Yeah, cool.
And it's they're small. I make them short because I don't need real long ones. And these screws they're screwed in. Some of these screws are screwed in. Some of them are loose. I don't understand why these guys, how they do these things. Okay. There we go. I can screw that down. See, what I'm doing is it's 2 wires going into the same hole,
Okay.
So what I twist them together, and that makes a nice thicker wire, and then the screw holds it down like better. So I got two more to make. Let's see, Deminsky and Doyle. New episode, celebrity. Let's get these notifications from the radio station I listen to. I don't know why the water company doesn't notify me when there's problems.
Well, you know how utilities are.
Yeah. Next time I call them, I'm going to ask them why don't you notify us when there's a problem, and see if they can get some kind of notification system. That'd be a good idea.
That's the one thing nice. Our electric company here, we have Duke Electric, and I mean, the minute the power goes down, they'll send me a text message. Your power's out, like I didn't know, but then they'll tell me when they think they're going to get it fixed. So it's real helpful.
Yeah, I get notification from my electric company too when the power goes out.
Yeah, they're like the only ones that do it though. The electric companies, the water. Well, we haven't had any water issues here, but they're not going to tell you. Comcast won't tell you shit. Comcast goes down, you got to search through your phone, try and find out what the status is.
Yeah.
Just forget about calling them; they won't even answer the phone. It's all bullshit,
Yeah, well, see, I have a different company for my internet service than what's normally here, and I can call them 24 hours, 7 days a week.
Really, that's cool. Who do you have up there?
Yeah, because I have a business account.
Because they got Verizon up there, and they've got another one. I can't remember what it is.
No, they don't I don't have FiOS in this town yet.
No?
And no, if I had FiOS, it'd be a lot better.
Well, yeah, it's faster internet.
Yeah.
We don't have it down here either.
Yeah, I have a company called Penn Teledata.
Never heard of them.
Yeah, I got a static IP address, so mine's the same all the time. Everybody else's is dynamic, so whenever your modem, your cable modem connects, it gets a new address, and then they release it, and then you get it renewed, and you get a new address that way too. So that's all part of the system. So I got a static one.
I'm getting a little weird on the chat here.
Yeah, so if I wanted to, I could run my own website here if I wanted to. But that's how I can, with my JMRI, like you saw those panels that time, that's how I can do that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because you could do it with the dynamic one too, but you'd have to change your settings all the time to get it to come up. So let's see. I gotta unscrew this one and then pull that out. Yep. Okay, I gotta put a wire there. I gotta find out where that goes. So, Echo, train room on.
Hey, you know what? You know what I forgot? Thomas Moore, Nashville Steam, I think is what it is, but he was supposed to do a live stream at 6 o'clock. Did anybody see that? I completely forgot him. Actually, I was taking a nap. But
No.
I don't know. I don't wonder if anybody even bothered to show up. What does Artie say there? Artie said red goes to red Thomas and black goes to blue. I don't know what his reference is for that, but James said he didn't see it. Derek said I didn't get a notification. Well, I never get notifications anyway. I completely forgot about it. So I don't know. I don't even know if he got on or not.
Let me see what's going on here. Are you live now?
Yeah, I'm on here. As I start out as a test, the next thing you know, I don't know how many people are on here, but quite a few by the looks of it.
Yeah.
Well, I was messing around with the chat overlay again, and I think I might have it fixed. I'm not sure. I hope so. Because I really get pissed off when it freezes up on me toward the end of my stream.
Yeah. Yeah, I just sent you a text with the photo.
Did you? Let's check it out. Let's see. You're there. Text. There you are. Oh, yeah. Okay. I see what you did. Anyways, wondering what Thomas is working on. This is it. Those are terminal blocks and they're jumpers. So, that's pretty cool. Looks too much like work, though, I gotta say, you know. Derek, I didn't get rid of the heart because this was just a test. Sorry.
Yeah. You know what I'm going to do? I think what I'm going to do is maybe once in a while on a Friday night do a live stream.
There you go.
So, yeah, because Vinny isn't doing one. Maybe I'll just do one once in a while. See, the problem is they do it every week, and that can get old fast.
Well, it can. I mean, there's some guys, like, I think Chris from GVO, he's the Canadian guy. he does his show on Thursday at 7 o'clock, but he doesn't do it every Thursday. I think he only does it once or twice a month. So, because originally I tried not to run over him because I'm on Thursday too, but because he's not on every week, I just figured, well, people will go watch what they want to watch. It's no big deal. But it's. But you're right to a point. I mean, it is. It's tough. Every week I have to think about the same thing. What am I going to talk about this week? Do I have any good videos to show? I wish you see, unfortunately, the way that OBS works, I can't really put a guest on here. They have a plug-in, but it's a real pain in the ass. So I'm looking at.
I tried that plug-in too, and it didn't work.
Yeah, I figured it'd be screwed up. I mean, this chat overlay is a pain in the ass enough. There's no way. I wish they would update OBS and give it those two features: the chat overlay and the ability to bring in a guest. That's built into it. I'm sure eventually they will. But
you have to do some kind of overlay and all that other crap.
Yeah, I looked into it. It was a real pain in the ass.
Yeah.
So
you know what? Why don't you just go up on with the art sheet? It's easy. It's real easy to add people on, and it's easy to come up and everything.
Really?
And and the version you can have 6 people on at the same time.
Oh yeah, on StreamYard. Yeah, well, because I originally used StreamYard, and I was bringing in guests on occasion. But then, like I said, I wanted the ability to do more, especially with cameras. And the StreamYard won't let you use more than 2 cameras unless you pay for it.
Oh, well, yeah, no, but what you can do is, which I'm going to test one time, and I brought up another camera on my computer just to test with YardStream.
Right.
And I switched, and you can switch to as many cameras as you want, but you can't have both of them displaying at the same time.
Right. Yeah. See, because when I do my opening, I have 4 at a time. So. Yeah. So like I said, I still like the OBS. It's a good program. It needs a couple more things in it that they need to work on. I think I've got. Version 29 now, I think. Maybe it's 30. I know I did an update not long ago.
No, I was using 29. I had it down to 27 because there was a big problem. There's a big problem on 29.
Yeah, I read that. I didn't have that problem, but I guess some people do. So.
Yeah. So I bounced back, and I'm waiting until they fix whatever. I don't even remember what I was trying to do with it, but I have OBS installed on my laptop that I do streaming with, and all my cameras that are in the training room are connected to that OBS.
Oh, okay.
So maybe as I get this yard and all this wiring done, I'll play around with OBS and see if I can stream from OBS and then work on getting it to work with bringing somebody on. So, but I only think you can bring one person on in OBS.
Yeah, with the plugin, yeah, that's all you can do is just one. Which I'm okay with that because realistically, and that's some of the problems I have with some of the streams out there, including yours. Too many people here, it gets too confusing. Everybody's talking at once, and it's kind of a pain in the ass.
Yeah,
I would rather just have one guest, And
yeah, and StreamYard, what I don't like about that is even to get the paid version, you only get one other camera. You can't, do much with one other camera. So that's what I don't like about their paid service. They should give you, however, you be able to add as many cameras as you want, but you can switch to other cameras on your stream, and with no problem. And like I can present videos
Yeah, I
and
remember.
that runs off of my computer in StreamYard, and all I do is click on the present button on StreamYard, and then I can pick whatever type of thing I want to do, and I can present my computer screen, and if I have something up on there, I can show people things and stuff like that. So it has advantages, but I was thinking of doing OBS, the streaming from OBS too, because I wanted to show the different cameras and showing the layout from that aspect of the camera. But I never had time to play around with the broadcast part of it. So one day I'll look into doing that. But, all right, so this one's made. I got to make another one just like that. I got 2 wires. One's on one side and one's on the other.
I never get enough hours, Dave.
Yeah. So this is going to be interesting. I'll make that one later. Hook that back up. And I hope those diodes come tomorrow. Now, like I have 3 orders from Amazon, and one is supposed to be here tomorrow, and in New Jersey now, so I know that'll be here tomorrow. The other one is supposed to be here Sunday, and it hasn't shipped yet. And today is Friday, and all it says on the app is shipping. Status is shipping. Well, how about the status change to shipped?
Yeah, there you go, right?
Yeah.
That'd be too easy.
Yeah. Well, they're just the other 10 relays. And the screws, the holders will come Sunday too. So we'll see which one comes there. And then I also ordered another 50 lever connectors. Those gray ones with the orange clip on them.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's what I do to connect the wires together for this push button panel. Because today I was working with my JMRI friend, and I had taken off the relay before he called, and the one wire was too short, and I couldn't put the relay on the wall in there, so I said, let me make that wire longer. So I disconnected it. It was easy. And then I'm putting it back together, and I got it all together, and then I had to go in deep where the LED wires were, and I noticed another 2 wires weren't connected anymore. And that was why I was looking at my panel, and one of the push buttons weren't lit up, and I go, what's going on with that? And then I found, and those were those phone butts, the one put 2 wires in and squeeze it. Well,
Okay.
The one wire was out, so I took it apart, and then I put on one of these lever connectors, and then they'll never come off. So I got a couple more in there to change out. But when I'm changing this wiring, I'm going to have to disconnect them anyway. The couple that I have is still connected.
Yeah.
And then put these lever connectors on them. And it's easy. You just if you have to clip a wire, like the 2 LED wires that I had a flip-flop, I just unclip both of them and put the other wire in the other side and the other wire in the other side. Clip them, and then everything worked. But otherwise, you would have had to recrimp it back on and all that crap. So, no, not doing that no more. These lever connectors are the greatest thing. And they handle a wide range of gauges. 14. I forget what speaker wire it is, but it fits in these. That's the thickest wire I use on my layout is my bus lines, and everything else is 20 gauge, 22 gauge. I got some 24 gauge that I use. I think I even got a 28 gauge, but those I solder a 20 gauge or a 22 gauge on it, and then I put that into the turbo block because those 28 gauge wires are really thin.
Okay.
Yeah, and I tried to screw them into the turbo block a couple times, and they would come out, and then I didn't have a light on, something was this and that. I said, that's it. I solder a longer wire, or a thicker wire on the end of them to get them to plug into things. I don't want it to come out. My first floodlight that I put up on the yard, that's not working, and I moved so many wires around when I was changing the turnout, the motors. I think I might have bumped a wire or something. I gotta find out where that light is located. See if I have power there, or maybe I unplugged it or something by mistake. I don't know. Maybe find it. And I got more. I made more. I gotta put them together again too. I still have them in the box waiting to be put together, put up. Get some more lights to do that. But were you just doing a test on the live tonight?
Yeah, like I said, I'm just screwing around with that overlay for the chat, and I figure I'll just stay on here as long as I can, and it's a good test.
Yeah, but you know when you do a test it works, and then when you go up,
I know it doesn't work. Right? Hey, there's Sparky. He's in there. You know, I just went on Vinny's website, his page, and he erased all his live episodes. It's a blank page now.
Oh yeah.
He must be really pissed. No, Derek, OBS is not restricted at all, so I could run this thing for till hell freezes over, whenever that might be.
Yeah. I don't know. If I had 4,000 subscribers, I'd be a happy camper.
Oh shit, yeah, I would be too, but you know. I figured, that would show that people are really interested in what you're doing, right? So like, you get greedy. I guess, and I don't want to badmouth Vinny, because I like Vinny, but, and I'm not really bad-mouthing him, but it kind of sounds like I am, but, I think he got a little spoiled there, man, and maybe he had higher expectations than what the reality of the situation is. I mean, I could sit here and cry that it's been 3 years and I've only got 411 subs. I should have 10,000, but based on what? Who am I to say how many I should have,
Right.
I don't know. Like I said, everybody will have to work out their own problems, I guess. But
right.
For me, I just don't care. I ain't worried about it. I'm having fun, My wife says, you spend more time in your shed than you do in the house. And she's halfway true, But, and I know this is not a job, and I don't even pretend it is, but I do take my hobby seriously. I'm very involved in it, But I'm doing so many different facets of it, too, I'm actually doing more 3D printing than I am working on my layout. So in some ways, it is a job because I'm making things for people that I'm actually selling, some of it. So I guess that qualifies as a job, right?
Yeah.
I'm not making any real money, of course, but, But if you ask me to do something, I say, sure, I'll do it. That's my word to you that I will, in fact, do it, So I know there's some guy, I'll take care of that for you. You never hear about it again. You won't make friends that way, so,
Yep.
Corey says,
Yeah, I gotta.
I would
Yeah,
hate
I gotta.
having thousands of
I
subs.
gotta.
It would feel like a second job.
Yeah, yeah. I was looking at my wiring. I gotta move. I gotta move some wiring up off of those buildings. It's just hanging there a little bit. But I never did clean that up there because I was waiting until I got the subway system all the way around to there to do that. But I'll start doing it now just to see, and that way it'll be ready. But yeah, with the subway system, the way I'm doing it now, I won't have any problems because I was worried about when I got to that side, the layout, because there's a lot of wiring over there, and with these mounts, I placed them without touching the wiring, and that'll make it easier.
There you go.
Yeah, and because the tunnel ones were going to be a problem. Because they go up right up against the top, and that's where the wire was. At least this way I can manipulate these around the wire, and then the wire gets tucked around it. So see what happens. So, all right, Jim. Well, I want to get a couple things done here.
Yeah, I better
So
return to my followers up here. All right, Tom. Thanks for calling, man. We'll see you later.
Yeah, take it easy. Bye.
All right, bye-bye.
Right.
Let's see. All right, guys. You got me all to yourselves now. It's weird. I just fired up the live stream and Tom called, so what are the odds, right? No, it's not Thursday, Raymond. It's Friday. Yeah, you wish. I'm like to talk, but not that damn much. So let's see here. Well, like I said, we've been talking about the whole live streaming and how some of the guys, well, a couple of people are getting upset because they don't have the subscriber base that they want or think they should have. And it's unfortunate, but it's the way it is, you know. Les says, yeah, out of 4,000 subscribers, you get hordes watching at the same time. Might on a good session get 100. That's true, you know. I mean, I don't know how many, well, like I said, I got 411 subscribers, but I probably have a lot of people that watch me that are not subscribed, that don't get in the chat. I don't know who they are because I don't see them. But you just never know. And I really don't pay attention. I mean, you guys always let me know how many people are on the chat, how many likes I got. I don't look. I really don't care. I mean, I do a little bit, but not really, you know. So, I don't drink coffee, Corey. I never really developed a taste for it. I've had coffee twice, two times in my entire life, and they were on really cold mornings. But I just never really developed a taste for it. I don't dislike it, but I would rather have a carbonated soda rather than a coffee. That's why I don't have any coffee mugs. Oh, I'm thinking about designing a coffee mug and maybe setting it up on either on some sort of a store, an online store or something. So maybe you guys might be interested in buying one. I don't know. But I think I'd like to see them go cheaper than what they're selling them for, too, you know. So I may just do them on my own, you know. I can actually print on a coffee mug and seal it in with clear coat, and it would be safe to drink out of. And it would be almost as good as anything you buy already made in the store. I have to look into that. No, Artie, you got the record, man. I believe you're probably going to keep it for a very long time. It's tempting, but I am no way in hell doing a 24-hour live stream. You can keep that award. That's on you, man. Yeah, I know I didn't say hi to everybody, so hi, everybody. I'm not going to go through the names. Nobody got a cookie today because this wasn't a real stream, you know. It's actually listed as a test. There you go. Sparky says I got 120. Yeah, right. That'll be the day. I mean, that would be cool if that were true, but not likely. Nice idea, though, right? That's that. Artie says, "Well, I'm going to go and get 2 million followers and influence them too by Christmas. Stay tuned." Yeah, there you go. I couldn't afford to. I mean, like you said, Sparky and Vinny, they do great on the Christmas deals, Christmas specials. I can't do it. I simply don't have the money. And like I said, I don't get an income from my YouTube presence, so you know. And even yeah, I will be monetized at some point because I'm close to 500. But I think the reality is, if I make a couple of bucks a month, I'll be doing good. It's just something I'll do because I can, but I won't be counting on it for anything. There you go. James says 107, 107, a bunch of zeros, right? There you go. Hey, Kyle, how's it going, man? Stopping by for a quick hello, huh? That's cool. Kyle says 2312. That's a more realistic number. You know, I seem to average about, I think, between 20 and 27 viewers on an average show. I get a lot of or replay views because I looked at some of my stats, and I think the last or 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, the live stream got something like 174 views. Not bad. So I mean, people do watch, and I understand because there's so damn many live streams. There's no way you can watch them all. I was trying for a while, and I said, you know what? I don't have time to even watch TV shows anymore because I'm so busy watching live streams, and like they're on every night. I think the only night that's really free for me is Sunday night, where there's really no live streams that I'd be watching. And I said, I can't. I got literally 1,000 TV shows I got to watch. All right. I mean, I store them on my other computer and I watch them at will. And I can't. I don't sit down every night for 3 or 4 hours and watch TV. I should, but I don't because the live streams are interesting, and like I'm always on Tom's channel on Monday. I was on James's channel for a while. Sidetrack Monday, I think it is, or Off the Tracks Monday. I can't remember which one it is now. I was watching that for a while. I need to start watching it again live. I watch some of the shows, as replays, usually earlier in the day. I haven't watched a Cab Crew Wednesday in forever. I haven't watched Heath's show in a long time either. So I just, was like, well, do I want to watch a live stream or do I want to watch my favorite TV show, And a lot of times the TV show takes precedence, so it happens. A quick live, yeah. Where? Ain't nothing quick when it comes to me. Never can be accused of being quick. Let's see. Les says Jack Jack has been live. Really? I wasn't aware of that. I used to watch Jack Jack's show too. And I kind of just stopped doing that after a while. It just. Kyle says Jack Jack's been live for years. That's like those chicken channels. As was it, Chicken City, I think it is? It's a 24/7 live stream. It's on, never goes off. I think it's been running for a couple of years now. It's literally 24/7, 365, I was watching that for a while, but, let's face it. Especially in the evening when the chickens are sleeping. What the hell are you looking at? During the day it's a little more interesting. Every now and then a rooster will get them some, but other than that, you're just watching chickens walking around pecking at the ground. I could go in my backyard and watch that because I have chickens, but I don't even do that because it's boring. So no one gets a cookie anyway, so what's different? Oh, yeah, there you go. Scott from Waycross says, I saw the news this morning. New York's gone crazy. Why? What's going on in New York? I mean, other than the fact they're trying to arrest. Trump got indicted again, actually arrested again. I don't understand why that's even being allowed to happen, but it's ridiculous. Hey, not my fault nobody comes to collect them. Yeah, there you go. Big Jim, hopefully it pays for your plastic. Well, I buy 5 rolls for $82. And that's a good deal. You know, I get it on eBay, free shipping. And I don't foresee getting $80 a month. I just don't, you know. And it's not a big deal. I have the money, sort of, you know. And really, I can go, I bought this 5-pack 2 months ago, I think. And I still got 1 box that's not opened yet, still sealed. And 2 full rails on the, I'll show you over here. Both of those rails are just, well, the one on the left is full. The one on the right's not quite full. And then down there in the white package on the bottom shelf of the bench, that's a brand new one. So then I also have almost a half a rail of the black, which I save for special projects. And I can't remember what, I think, I got silver in the far right box. And I think that's about a half a spool. Or that's not silver, that's the clear, I think. That's clear or silver, I don't remember which. So I'm not too worried about it. And the plastic, the filament goes a long ways. And it just depends. And like I said, really the money I make when I sell stuff, I put that into replacing the filament. So it's not really considered profit. It's just keeping everything going. And that works for me. Corey says, I'll give away a puppy or a kitten for a contest. I'll show them. Hey, I got 5 roosters I got to get rid of. I can't give the damn. Nobody wants them. Maybe I should put those up for a contest, right? I'll ship you a rooster. I can't guarantee it'll still be alive by the time it gets to you, but it'll be a rooster. That would be an interesting prize, wouldn't it? Raymond Anthony, how's it going? He says, I'm in it for the LGB trains as well as the Mark 1Z scale. Man, you're going from one extreme to the other. Hey, more power to you, though, you know. You got the eyesight for Z scale and obviously the pocket for the LGB. So, you know. I can't afford LGB. It would be fun because I have almost 2 acres of land here. I mean, I could build a hell of a layout on it if I wanted. But I couldn't afford it. And the Z-scale, I'd need a magnifying glass just to see the engine. But we're not going to go there. Let's see, my views are the same as you, Jim. That's scary. Or is it? I find that my viewpoints and my opinions are largely most of everybody else's. The normal people, anyway, you know. I talk to a lot of people on the street and stuff because I'm a real outgoing person, you know. And if I see someone, you know, hey, how's it going? Next thing you know, we're talking about politics and, you know, what do you think about Trump? Oh, he's the greatest president ever, you know. I haven't had anybody I've run into yet that has badmouthed Trump. It's probably a good thing because I'd probably drop kick him just for fun. I wouldn't, but I'd want to. So, you know, most of the people, at least in this area, and even back in Naples, were pretty much pro-Trump conservatives, MAGA people, I guess you want to call them. Because, you know, we just want things to be normal. We want things to kind of go back to where they used to be, where men were men and women were women, and each one knew what they were. And we don't have to worry about our kids getting raped or, you know, brainwashed or any other shit. I mean, it's the way things are going now. It is just so bad. The way what's going on, and some people are okay with it. It's like, what is wrong with you? You know. That's true, Raymond. Live streams are better than most of the TV shows. You know, I hope there's no gays in here, but I mean, if you are, that's on you. But uh, you cannot watch a TV show or a movie that doesn't have a gay in it if it's like less than 5 years old. Every TV show has got some LGBT person in there, whether it be a trans, a gay, a lesbian, somebody, you know. And they put them in there because they're trying to normalize it, which is bullshit because I don't care how many TV shows have queers in them, I'm still not going to turn queer, and I'm not going to socialize with queers, you know. I mean, hey, you do your thing, keep it in your bedroom, we won't have a problem. You bring it out in the street and try and force me to like it or accept it or even engage in it, we're going to have a problem. And it's that simple. Look, I don't push my heterosexuality on anybody, you know. You don't see me doing some woman in the middle of the street, you know. So why do they have to do it? You know, we don't really care what they do. As long as we don't have to be a party to it or, you know, listen to it or watch it. I don't want to see it, you know. I'm so sick of watching these trans people, guys pretending they're women, they're ugly as shit. They look stupid, you know, because just like the gays, they over exaggerate the role of a woman. No real woman looks like that or acts like that or talks like that or does the whole limp wrist shit. They just don't do it. At least none I've ever met. You know? What the hell? Hey, Mike in Putnam Junction, how you doing? Les says, I got 4 to go to reach 200 subs. Well, that's cool, Les. Anybody here hasn't subbed to Les, please do. I appreciate it. Or tell your other trained friends to sub to them. I'm pretty sure I'm subbed to you, Les. I'm pretty sure. I'll double check later on, but James says I watch Cheech every Tuesday. If like I used to for a while, and then I kind of just got to where I'm tired. I just I go lay down or something. Let's get Daryl to come on your channel and put makeup on, and your sub count will grow. I don't know. I'd probably everybody leave and unsub from me. Now that was funny what Daryl did, but oh weird, but still funny. But it's one thing to do that and fun, for like, one time I think I was 19 or 20, and me and my first wife, and we had this other couple we were good friends with. His name was Mike, and I can't remember the woman's name. She was, believe it or not, she was a true nymphomaniac. I kid you not. The poor guy left her because he couldn't keep up with her. He was begging everybody he knew to bed her because he couldn't keep up. I mean, every 15 minutes she wanted it. It was bad. But anyway, that was not my point here. One Halloween, the two women, my wife, my ex-wife, and this other guy's wife, said, you guys need to dress up as women this year. So like, no, not going to happen. Well, it did. So we both dressed up as women. I had a full beard, and I think Mike had a mustache, so we were pretty ugly looking women. We didn't get crazy with the makeup, I think we used lipstick, and that was it. No eyeliner, blush, or that crap. And we both wore dresses, and we went, posed as women Halloween trick-or-treating. First and only time I did that, And remember, back then, people knew it was a joke. They didn't really think you were trying to be a woman because if people were doing that, they kept it in the closet where it belonged. Kyle says, heck, Jim, I just get on these streams whenever I can anymore, just too busy. Well, that's true, man. And, there's other things you got to do, too, Sometimes life gets in the way of the hobby for all of us, I got stuff to do outside of this train shed, and I gotta get crying. I gotta fix the air conditioning in my car and replace the compressor. not going to be a fun job. I have some work to do in the house. Nothing major, but some small things that need to be fixed. And there's the chickens. That's a full-time job, really. My wife does most of the stuff for the chickens, but every now and then I have to jump in there and help her with something she can't handle. Heavy lifting or whatever. So it's just, my hobby isn't a full-time affair. It would be nice if it was, but the reality is it's not, because real life does get in the way of it. See, I'm getting way behind over here. Les says he might be too high maintenance for me. Daryl, yeah, he might be. That's bad. Funny, though. Says, yeah, there are plenty you can get down at, is that 5th or South, drafting on the highway. Yeah, I'll bet. That's okay. I'll pass on that. You hear that one guy? He's a trans woman. Okay, it's a man pretending to be a woman. He's trying to get an artificial or a uterus transplant to be put in his body. He wants to get pregnant so he can have the first trans abortion. I think they should implant a bullet in his head, personally. What the hell is wrong with these people? There's something wrong there. Alright, already. Have a good one, man. We'll see you later. You're probably already off, but... let's see. I will buy one ready. Okay, that's good. Riot in New York over video game system free giveaway that someone announced. Oh, really? I didn't hear about that at all. That's weird. Kyle says, Rooster for a contest? Sign me up. I said the problem would be getting it to you before it died. That would be tough. I guess you can overnight it, but I still don't know if it would survive. I mean, these are big roosters, They're about almost 2 foot tall. Probably weighs a good 8-10 pounds. I don't know, which is, heavy for a bird. Derek says, Big Jim sending cocks through the mail. Oh, sorry, I couldn't let him pass. That's all right. Daddy's always saying, we should cook it up, make some cock soup. And I'm thinking, oh, God, that doesn't sound good at all. Rooster, Thanksgiving dinner. Sure, why not? They say the roosters are actually very good to eat, but you have to cook them a little differently than you do a chicken. Because I always figured a rooster would be tougher, the meat. But they say that it actually tastes better than the hens if it's cooked right. So I don't know. I've never ate a rooster, so we'll have to try it one of these days. My problem is I don't know how to clean them. I suppose I can learn. I got no problem butchering them. I'm just not sure what to do. Other than once you get past chopping the head off, I really don't know what to do. I know you have to defeather them. They say boil them in water to get the feathers out, and then I guess you just scoop the innards out and hack the leg or the feet off, and there's your chicken. I guess I guess I don't really know. But I don't have an aversion to it. I mean, it's food. My wife gets mad when I say, because she says, they're my chickens. I said, no, they're your food. No, they're my chickens. They're my pets. No, they're your damn food. And we're going to eat them at some point, Leave it to a woman, though, to try and befriend a chicken, right? And it said, yep, my first train set I had when I was very little was a battery-operated train set. It was an LGB knockoff, but nonetheless, it was a G-scale, and that's where my model train routes are. Yeah, I remember seeing those. I never had one. I had a battery-powered HO train a long, long time ago. So I guess, yeah, that's probably why I liked it. I tried N-scale afterwards, but like I said, my eyesight wasn't that great. I mean, my eyes are fixed. These are for reading, but I've got perfect far vision now. But I still need reading glasses. So, and anything small, I got to put the opti visors on. So So I don't foresee ever going below HO, and if things get really bad, I may have to trade everything for O scale, and that would be painful. Joe says, can't find anybody who admits to voting for Biden. Believe it or not, my mother, well, she's passed now, but no, she didn't vote for Biden because she passed before Biden. She voted for Obama, not once, but twice. And my mother is not really a Democrat, but I don't know what the hell she was thinking. When she told me, I go like, are you out of your mind? But I only no, as a matter of fact, I don't know anybody who voted for Biden. At least nobody will admit to it anyway. So who knows? I don't believe that 81 million people put him in office. I don't care what anybody says. Maybe it happened, but it doesn't seem likely. Yes, I do stand for the anthem, and I do put my hand over my heart too. Why wouldn't you? That's why I have such a problem with the sports. That's why I don't really watch sports anymore. I never really was a big sports guy anyway, but what I've seen lately, football, baseball, basketball, soccer, almost every sport now is like, fuck America. I'm gonna kneel and protest. I got no use for them people, sorry. If you hate America, we're not holding you here. You can get on a plane or a boat and get the fuck out. And give up your citizenship while you're at it. James says, I stay away from politics. We have our own issues. Well, you're Canadian, so that's a little different, James. I mean, I could go on and on with that idiot president you've got there, Trudeau, but I won't. I heard his wife left him. As a matter of fact, just recently they split up. She probably had enough of his shit, too. That's all I can say on it. Ray says, Mark 1 Z scale was the first modeling scale that I discovered on my own back when I was 11 years old in 1996. Well, you're a youngin', man. 1996, I'd married. I already had 4 kids. Of course, I was born in 59, so, Anyway. That's cool, though, Like I said, if you can do... When they first came out with Z-Scale, I was really like... I'd kind of like to have that, but then I thought, no, I don't think I can handle those, Corey says, my grandparents voted for Biden, supposedly. Well, some people hated Trump so much that they would have voted for one of the Roosters if that was who was opposing Trump, I mean, Trump derangement syndrome, was it TDS, I think it's called? It's real, I don't see why people are against Trump. I mean, yeah, he's not pro-gay, he's not pro-abortion, he's not pro-free shit for the masses. But short of that, what he did accomplish in this country, and he had a tough time because everybody fought him, the government fought him on it. Everything he did accomplish was good for the American people. Why would you hate a man that's trying to help you out, So, what are you going to do? The entire cabinet of the current... yeah, they did. He's got the worst misfits in there. AOC is in charge of finances, the government finances. Her credit score is 430. Like, she couldn't get a loan if she tried because her credit score is too low. And he put her in charge of finances. Brilliant move. The health secretary is a man who thinks he's a woman, and a damn ugly one at that. And he's representing physical fitness and health and sound mind, of which he has neither. What the hell's wrong with you? And then another guy that was I can't remember. I think he was in something to do with transportation, not the gay guy, but this one was a trans guy. He's the one who was stealing suitcases at the airports with women's clothes in it. They finally, I think they let him go finally. Where do they find these misfits at? I mean, come on. Of course, it makes you wonder if Joe isn't a little, trans himself, maybe. Who knows? Hey, Curtis. Curtis was over here at the shed today. This morning he came by with his wife. It was cool. We had a fun time. Hey, Curtis, did you get that email I sent you? I did send you the link for that chicken alarm. So, and I also talked to Tom Grassi. He's going to head and he's going to send me 24 hydrants for free, and I'm going to give them to you for free. So, as soon as he gets them to me, I'll get them to you. I'll ask you for your mailing address at some point, and we'll get them up to you. So, we're good to go on that. Yeah, I know, Anthony, and she is not that good looking. Excuse me. He is not that good looking. I mean, and they did a still shot of when he got the crown or whatever the hell, the flowers. I don't know what they do over there. And the women that were the runner-ups, I mean, they were not happy. You could tell. I mean, they were straining to try and look like, oh, we're happy, we're happy for him, But I think they were a little pissed. I mean, if I were one, I would be. I think the 4 or 5 women should have jumped him and beat him half to death, and said, "Yeah, how much of a man are you really?" And there's something wrong with these people. And Italy, they banned now all transgenders from competing in their transgender women from competing in their beauty contests. So you know what happened? All the transgender men entered the contest because they should have just banned transgenders altogether and said, no, you have to be a biological woman to participate in our beauty pageant. They worded it wrong, and now it's kind of biting them in the ass. But Italy does have the right idea, and I'm sure they'll put a stop to it one way or the other. But this is ridiculous, Silly people out there. Yeah, Dave, Vinny, I don't think he's going to do any more live streams. I just checked his channel earlier and got on the live part of his page, his channel, and he deleted everything. So I don't know why he did. I don't know. Maybe it was just something wrong with the connection. But you guys want to check it again? Check his channel of BNSF 6951 and check the live stream and see if it's not empty. Like I said, he did start a new channel, Vinny Shipbuilding or Military Shipbuilding, something like that. I haven't watched it yet. I'll probably check it out. I'm not really into building ships, but it might be fun to watch once. He said I'm more of a train guy, so. But yeah, he hasn't been on the last 2 weeks. I mean, he did the video 2.5 weeks ago, where he basically said, I'm not happy. I'm not getting the subscriber base I think I should have. And then he announced a new channel, so I don't know. No more wigs. I had a wig there for a while, but it was real. Before I got my hair cut, it was down below my shoulders. Never again. I'll leave the wigs to you, Sparky. You kind of look okay. I mean, it fits you better. I would look stupid in a wig. Sorry. There you go. Kyle says you have plenty of Sparky. Sharing is caring. That's okay. I don't think you're showing me you care. And Les says Tuesdays are hard, too many at the same time to watch. Well, that's true. So, Sparky says my wigs only come out for live streams, so they are in a box somewhere. Yeah, you haven't done a live in a long time, have you, Sparky? And, I kind of miss your live streams, man. I mean, like I was saying earlier before you got on, a lot of you guys think you have nothing more to contribute. That's not true, I think all of us would say that, we want to see at least every now and then and see what's going on in your train room, Talk about what you did or what you didn't do. It doesn't matter. We're not following you because we're looking for constant new stuff. You know. And as I explained earlier, at some point, yeah, we're all going to run out of content to some degree. But that doesn't mean we have to throw in the towel and say, well, got nothing more to contribute. I guess I'll just go away. Because people want to see you as well. They want to hear your voice, hear what you got to say. You're a funny guy, Sparky, and I mean that in a nice way, of course. And I enjoy watching your lives every now and then. Do I need to see it every week? Not necessarily. But if you did one even once every 3 months, that would be cool. And, people do enjoy your live streams, man, whether you realize it or not. So, just something to think about. Hey, Low Country Railroad, 2 days in a row. Woohoo. Yeah, maybe. This is a test, man. Come on. Dave says summer's busy time for me. Well, yeah, I hear that. Hey, Big Bill. South Brooklyn Railroad. What's going on, man? I haven't seen you in forever. Do you still do your live stream? I don't know. Yeah, I remember I was on one of them, 2 years ago? Might be time to bring me back on for a new one. I'm not sure. If you're interested, let me know. I'm game, Anyway, good to see you. I hope you're doing well. Raymond says, when I first heard the term drag queen, I thought it was a nickname for a female drag queen. Yeah. My wife kind of said the same thing. She said, they ruin everything. They have a show on TV called Drag Race. It's not cars. And now they have Drag Race for America. They have Drag Race in England. They have Drag Race in France. Drag Race in Spain. Drag Race in Italy. And I think they now have Drag Race even in Belgium. I didn't realize there's that many damn trans people out there. I don't care. But how dare they rip off a good name, So, I'd be afraid, back when we were kids, hey, man, you want to drag, And that meant race the cars. It did mean let's pretend we're women. You probably wouldn't want to say that today because somebody would think you were gay, It's messed up, man. Yeah. They steal it. They stole the rainbow. They steal the drag race thing. What next, As you see, get caught up here a little bit. So that says they live in a parallel universe. Yes, they do. Hey, whether two or not, Harry, how's it going? There's the Big Jim. That wasn't Vinny trying to get subs and views, right? Well, that's what he was complaining about, basically. I sort of understand, but I don't agree with him. And I'm going to leave it at that. I like Vinny. I think Vinny's a great guy, but I don't think he's looking at this in a logical way. That's as far as I'm going to say about it, People enjoyed watching his show. He had he had decent content. It might not have been brand new all the time, but so what, I kind of enjoyed watching him do his builds, building assembly and all that. And, he'd build a lot of scratch building, which I thought was interesting and educational at the same time. But he was kind of mad because he didn't have the sub count he thought he should have, Now, that's the way it goes, It's not a big deal. That if you're in this for the money or the sub count, you're not going to be happy. Some guys are like Tom Transit things. I think he's got 25,000 subs. He's been doing this for, 5 or 10 years? I don't remember which. It's been a while. But he specializes in certain areas. He does excellent work, building, assembling the buildings. And he does all the train shows, and I think that's probably his strongest attractant to his channel is the fact that he does the train shows. Plus, he's heavy into Arduino and stuff that a lot of guys don't cover. But he earned those, and he's okay with it. He's branching out now. I think I don't blame him for going to Rumble as well as staying on YouTube. He may see the inevitable. I actually have a train channel on Rumble. I'm eventually going to transfer all my stuff to it. I'm still going to do YouTube until YouTube gets to the point where I'll be afraid to say almost anything. I'll stay on YouTube. But if it gets to that point, then I'm going over to Rumble. Now, Rumble, you instantly get monetized, but like I said, my Wise Guy videos, which I do make on Rumble because I would be banned for life on YouTube if I tried to air them, I made 3 cents in the last 3 months because I don't have the viewers. I think I have basically 60 subs or 63 subs. Some of you guys watch them, but I don't promote it that well, because for me it's more of an event than it is anything else, Sometimes I just got to say what's on my mind, and I can't talk to myself, so I talk to the camera and let other people hear what I think. But but like I said, not everybody's going to do well. And that's just the way it goes, It's not that big of a deal. Now, Sparky, you had a shitload of subs. I don't remember your sub count, but you did well, But I understand, like you said, my understanding is you kind of got out of it because of life in general and because you didn't feel you had anything more to contribute. But trust me, you do have a lot to contribute. I think so anyway. Dave says, Grandpa tried to teach me to pluck a chicken. I was a city kid, not for me. Well, you gotta boil them first, And then the feathers, they almost fall out. I mean, it's not like you gotta yank on them, You could do it that way. And that would be time consuming and probably a real nuisance. Yeah, it comes down to, River Raid. Hey, River Raid, how's it going, Rick? Rick says easier to buy the chicken from the store. Yes, at the moment. But there may come a time where you won't be able to do that. They're engineering a famine, a food famine. And we're already starting to see the early stages of it where a lot of food is no longer on the shelf. And then you're seeing a lot of this fake crap, that meat that's not real. What do they call that? I can't remember the name of it now. Beyond Meat. I'm not eating that shit. I don't know what it is. It's supposed to be plant-based. Well, a plant can't be meat, okay? A plant can be meat is about as much as me being a woman. Ain't going to happen. So, I would suggest that you stockpile some food if you can that won't spoil, and be prepared to do some farming on your own and possibly raising your own livestock, because if it comes down to it, you may not be able to go to the store and get any real food, I know there's a run on rice right now because China quit selling us rice. And, I guess they're just screwing with us. So it's like, that's fine. If Trump were president, he'd say, all right, you keep your rice. We'll keep our money here, thank you. We'll just, cut off all your imports. We'd fix their asses in a heartbeat, but idiot Biden ain't going to do that. So, but I don't know how bad it'll get. Maybe it won't get bad, but it might, And if it does, well, the ones that are somewhat prepared may be the only ones that survive. I don't know, I literally have enough food for probably a little over a year. Because I started stockpiling some years back. I have some of the freeze-dried food. I also have rice and stuff like that, stuff that won't go bad. It's in sealed containers. So it's safe to eat. It's not the best thing that we eat, but it'll keep you alive, worst comes to worst. And that's why I bought the chickens, because we have eggs. You know, I'm not a real big egg eater, but if I need them, they're there to eat. And worst comes to worst, if I'm hurting for meat, that one of them birds is going to be on the dinner table, one way or the other. So it is what it is. River Raging says, I voted for him 10 times. Who, Biden? So did my dead grandpa. Yeah, I'll bet. Yeah, well. Raymond says, the poisonous pufferfish is considered a delicacy in Japan. Yes, it is. You need to have a license and years of training in order. Yeah, because if you don't do it right, you'll die. Well, whoever eats it will die. Never had it. I've never had caviar either, fish eggs. That's a little weird to me. I'm a picky eater anyway. There's a lot of things I simply won't eat. James says 1952. Is that when you were born? I know you're a little bit older than me. Raymond says, I would have voted for Jojo Siwa over Biden. I don't know who the hell Jojo Siwa was. But yeah, I agree with you. I would have voted for my dog before I voted for Biden. Corey says, Jim, my grandparents are dead. That's why I figured they voted for Biden. I don't doubt it. They got to clean that shit up. I mean, they're denying it. But, they're denying it with such ferocity. You know the old saying, thou protestest too much? When you're trying to cover what you actually did by denying it to the point where it's become an obsession. That's what I see. You know what? If you didn't cheat, just say you didn't cheat and you want to see the records of the book, go ahead and look at them. We didn't cheat, we got nothing to hide, but they're not doing that. They're saying, oh no, we're not going to let you do a recount. We're not going to let you check the signatures. Why? If you're on the up and up and you didn't cheat, what are you trying to hide? That's what I'm saying. It's so obvious. And I got to be careful what I say in here because I can get in trouble for that. But, it's just, there's something wrong, They said he actually just big juvenile, but Trump, he was. I mean, look, Trump's an asshole, okay? And I'm serious. I really, as a man, I don't like him, okay? I think he's a conceited, narcissistic, pompous ass. I always did think he was. But was he a great president? Absolutely. I don't care what you do on your off hours, man, But what you're doing while you're running this country, that's what I care about. And I'll tell you what, Trump did nothing but good things for us, mostly. He made a few mistakes, but he's just a man after all, Hopefully you learn from him and he won't repeat that when he gets reelected next year. You're right, Rick. He ran the country like a business and not a political bullshit. Well, because he had no skin in the game. I mean, I didn't put that right. He didn't have any money to end the game. He's already a billionaire. He didn't even take a salary. $450,000 a year is what the president gets paid. He didn't take it. Actually, I think he donated it to the Veterans Administration to help vets out, which is, you can't go wrong there. Anybody that would do that, that's $500,000 damn near, But he didn't need the money. Now, you can bet your ass, well, and this is another thing kissing my ass too. Biden not only gets $450,000 a year, but he gets, between him and Jill, they get $8,000 a month for Social Security. I want to know why. If you're getting $500,000 a year for a salary, why are you collecting Social Security? That's bullshit. And then they're telling me we may have to cut back on your Social Security because, we're going broke. Well, yeah, because you keep stealing the money out of it. And plus they're giving it to the damn illegals. You cross from Mexico, you could work for a day and then retire and collect full benefits from Social Security. How the hell does that work? There's something wrong here, man. Kyle said, Jesus, my credit score is better than hers. Yeah, AOC's. Everybody's is, I think, So I'm saying it's scary stuff, you know. Waycross Scott says, I'm thinking of having someone look at my HO scale track plan and if need be improved to make better for model railroad operations. I wish I could help you with that, Scott, but I'm not that good at it. But there are guys out there who are good at it, and it's probably not a bad idea. But, you know, me personally, I think whatever makes you happy is what you need to do. And if you think there's room for improvement and you want some outside help, then by all means go for it. But if you're happy with what you came up with, then by all means go for that. So, you know, it's all up to you, man. Your layout, you know, how that goes, my damn railroad, I'll do what the hell I want. And that's the way it should be, you know. Let's see. The transmission like a Pete Butt Plug. I mean, Pete would say, well, he's gay too, you know. But this other guy, he had maybe it was something to do with the airlines or something. The one that's, I can't even remember his name, but he pretends he's a woman. He's got no hair. He's like bald or crew cut, all fully made up. Wears a dress. I mean, the thing is ugly. And he was stealing high-priced women's clothing at the airport. You know, he just stole some luggage from one of the, I think she was Italian or French designer, and had some one-of-a-kind clothes in the briefcase or the suitcase, and this thing stole it. He got caught, you know. But still, I mean, you know, what the hell is wrong with these people? Raymond says, well, imagine if Frank Sinatra ran for president. Well, the women would vote for him. And that's another reason I don't think women should vote. If there's any women there, sorry guys, but, you know, that's the problem. You know, when Clinton ran, Bill Clinton, he got mostly the women's vote because the women thought he was sexy and whatever. I mean, I thought he was a pervert, which he turns out he was. But the women fell for it, and they voted for him based on what he looked like. You don't vote a man for the highest office in the land because he's good looking. You know, you vote for him because he's going to do good things for the American people and abide by the Constitution. But when you got people that vote for stupid, this is what you're going to get, you know. Let's see, Kyle says, in due time, Jane's thinking of getting a pair of B&O GP30s from Scale Trains or a pair of GP38s from Rapido. I've got two GP38s. They're MTDs. I should have never bought them. I should have went to Rapido. It probably cost a little more, but I would have got a better loco. Live and learn, right? Corey says, I would vote for Sinatra. I didn't know that much of. I know he was a heavy drinker and a womanizer, but I don't really know where he stood as far as his politics were. I don't know, but that's what I would have looked at. It's like, you know, and that's why I voted for Trump in the very beginning, because I figured here's a guy. He's an asshole, but if he does half the stuff he claims, he's going to be the greatest president ever, and he did, and he is, you know. So, my opinion, of course. Dave says, Obama's pulling the strings. That is why the media is trying to protect him, even though they all know. Well, of course. And Obama, I just recently I heard that Obama had a meeting with Biden, and he warned Biden not to underestimate Trump, because Trump is dead serious, and he has the votes this time. And he had them last time, too, but he's definitely going to have them this time, and they're not going to let the Democrats cheat like they did last time, if that's what happened. So, yeah, and realistically, who in their right mind would vote for Biden? He's a brain-dead moron, you know. It's true, whether you like it or not, you know. Did you guys see when he was overseas at some sort of a big meeting thing there with a G28 or whatever the hell it was, and out of the blue, he says, yeah, I sold secrets to our enemies, and, you know, and I'm proud of it. There's something to that effect, I'm paraphrasing, but he should have been arrested for treason right there on the spot, because I'm sure that's what he actually did, because, you know, when you start losing your mind, It's like when you're drunk, you actually, the things you say are what's really going on in your head, because you lose your inhibitions to lie. So if he came out and said out loud, "I sell secrets to our enemies," chances are he does. you know. And of course that's treason, and the punishment for treason, of course, is death by hanging. And I think we need to follow through on that. I know Sinatra left us in '98, but I meant if he were to have ran for president. Maybe, I don't know. I can't make that decision because I didn't really. I know he was a good singer and a decent actor, but like I said, I didn't know anything about his political leanings, so I can't say one way or the other. But see, for me, it's hard to put I mean, Reagan was an actor, and Reagan turned out to be decent. He wasn't great, but he was decent, and they did try and kill him, and it did because he wasn't playing the game the way they wanted him to. He got lucky. I mean, he survived a bullet to the heart. That had to be an act of God that he survived it, as far as I've seen. But, I don't know. Like I said, we need a man who basically doesn't need the money, because basically, if you're in politics now, it's all about the bucks. You go in poor, you come out a millionaire, billionaire. I got a problem with that. Nancy Pelosi's worth $182 billion, I think, something to that effect. Yeah, I know she's been a senator for a long time, or congressman, whatever the hell she is, but there's no way she made that money legitimately. Now, they say she did a lot of insider trading in the stock market. That should be illegal. Somebody should do an audit and find out where every dime of that money came from, and anything that can't be proven legitimate, they should take back from her and give it back to the people from which she technically stole it from anyway. Just my opinion, but that's what should be done. All right, Corey, we'll have a good one, and we'll see you next time. Derek says, Corey, Sinatra was the coolest. Yeah, he was a decent guy. Whether I'd vote for him or not, I don't know. Hey, Joe Rader, gotta go, fun test, Jim. I think you passed. Okay, cool, thanks. I'll see you later, Joe. Harry says, I'm waiting for you to come out as a sovereign citizen just to get views. I never kind of went that way, although I did once. I got pulled over for not wearing a seatbelt in my car down in Naples by the sheriff. And he goes, sir, you're not wearing your seatbelt. I said, well, I don't have to. He says, yes, you do. I said, no, I'm a sovereign American citizen, and I don't have to do anything that doesn't harm anyone else. And he kind of gave me that sideways look. He's going, oh, God, here we got another lunatic, thinks he's sovereign, But he was cool about it. He says, well, look, he says, just drive carefully. I said, yeah, no problem, But there was no way. I've never worn a seatbelt, and I won't. All right? I have my own reasons. Doesn't matter whether you agree with me or not. If you want to wear your seatbelt, knock yourself out. I prefer not to. When I rode motorcycles, I didn't wear a helmet, and at that time you had to wear one. I don't know how many tickets I got for not wearing a helmet. To me, it was principle. I'd rather pay the $20 ticket rather than wear a helmet, because I felt a helmet would have struck my view. And I'm thinking, if you hit something with 50, 60 miles an hour, your helmet's not going to do you much good. They'll be digging it out of your chest where your head went into. The reality is, it might be good in a low impact, but more likely you're going to be in a higher speed impact. And this is the same problem with seatbelts. I've had people that got hurt because of their seatbelts, and the doctor told them, if you would have had that seatbelt off, you would have sustained no injuries. And it goes either way, but it's personal preference. I'm not going to tell you can't wear it, but you can't tell me I have to wear it. Simple as that. But that's as far as my sovereignty goes. Hey, Thomas Moore, Nashville Steam, how's it going? Did you do your live stream today? I'm sorry, I took a nap, and by the time I woke up, it would have probably been over. And nobody got notified anyway, which is also a problem. So the next time you're going to do one, I would suggest doing what I do and advertising it early in the day. And this way you'll get some sort of, you'll see it. If you go on YouTube, it'll show up there one way or the other. You know, that you're going to be going live. And that's the best way to make sure your viewers see that you're online. Derek says, Big Jim, you know a little too much about all those drag shows, although they stole the damn rainbow. Well, now, you know, don't get the wrong idea, but I don't feel I can talk about something unless I know something about it. Now, I don't have any first-hand information, you know, regarding LGBTQ, but just things I've learned on the internet. And I've had people hit on me before, and it's like, dude, I'm going to count to 3, and if you're not out of eyesight, you're probably not going to make it home tonight in one piece, you know. I don't care what you do in your bedroom, but leave me the hell alone, you know. And I don't know why people hit on me. I mean, not now so much because I'm overweight and all, but before I had the stroke, I wasn't a bad-looking man, you know. And the gays supposedly seriously, I was always getting hit on by queers. I don't act gay. I don't sound gay. I don't walk gay, you know. I don't know what the hell is going on, but it used to piss me off. It was almost as bad as when Mexicans would come up and start speaking to me in Spanish, and it's like, dude, speak English, you're in America, I don't know what the hell you're talking about, you know. Oh, you know Espanol? No, dumbass, I'm American. And I'm Italian by race. I said, I'm not even Mexican. Can't you tell the difference? You know, a lot of them thought I was Mexican. I don't look Mexican. I don't think I do. So I used to get kind of an attitude a lot for that stuff. Dave says, calling that drag race is cultural appropriation. Yes, it is. And we should fight that tooth and nail. And where do they get drag from anyway? You know, I don't understand the terminology, you know. It's not like you dress like a woman and somebody grabs you by the hair and drags you down the street, you know. There's no dragging involved here. They need to come up with a new name that's not culturally appropriated, and I'm still not going to be okay with it, but at least I would say, okay, that makes sense, you know. So maybe we need to, you know, start throwing the word out there. You can't use this term anymore. Thomas says, I have to wait 24 hours before I live stream. This is a clusterfuck. Why do you have to wait 24 hours? I didn't realize there was a restriction on it. Trainman said he was looking for your live stream. I guess a few guys did. Derek said, Thomas, you didn't go live today. No, he didn't, because supposedly there's a 24-hour waiting period. Hey, Tom Strange and Things. There he is, Tom Kavitchak. We were talking about you. Nothing good, of course, but, you know, you get it. Views are down all over YouTube. Even creators with over 1 million subs are complaining about views and ad revenue. Well, yeah, and I think you're right, you know. And YouTube is obviously trying to recover some losses somehow. And they can't do it legitimately, so they'll just steal your subs and your money, you know. And like I said, the sub count, you don't even really know if that's real or not, you know. I'm not saying it isn't, but I'm saying you don't really know, you know. I don't know what the hell they're doing. I know they're making a mess out of things, though. And just, it is what it is. Thomas says, next Friday I'll go live. Okay, well, make sure you get the word out there so we'll all know, because, you know, we're all getting old and we're forgetful. And there's other shit going on in our heads anyway. But like I said, when you do the live stream, before you actually go live, you can get your page or whatever on YouTube. Because like I do, I will set up my configuration like around 1 o'clock usually to let you know that I'll be live at 6 p.m. even though I don't go live until 6 p.m. So that's the way it works. If you need if you have any questions, let me know. I'll try and help you with it. James says, Thomas Moore, hello, subscribe to your channel. That's cool. Thank you, James. I'm sure Thomas appreciates that. Derek says, hi, Tom, and things. With COVID over, people don't have to stay in the house in the summer, so everyone is taking advantage of the freedom to go out and talk to real people. Oh, what are you saying? We're not real people, Derek? There's probably some truth to that. I don't know. I mean, like I said, life does get in the way of our hobby to some degree. It's going to happen. Unless you're rich and have other people maintaining your houses and your cars and all the other crap that you have to do in a normal life, you're not going to be able to stay in your hobby 24/7 because there's other things that take precedence. That's just the way it is. Kyle says, this is supposed to be a hobby, have fun. If you're stressing over your views or subs, then it gets ridiculous. No, you're absolutely right, Kyle. And I said the same thing. Yes, I will eventually monetize, and that's fine. I'm not going to make any real money, but, I make $1 or $2 a month, that's fine. I don't care. But it's not going to change my attitude or the way I look at things because I'm smart enough to realize I'm not going to make a living doing what I do. Some guys do, and that's fine. But, like you said, if that's all you're worried about, then, maybe you got bigger issues than you realize. I said, this is what's going on with Vinny. Vinny was upset because he only has 4,000 subs. He's been doing this for a long time. And he got in his head, he said, I should have, 40,000 subs, or whatever number he came up with. And it's like, well, it doesn't work that way, Vinny. So he shut down his live stream. And I just checked a little while ago, and you click on the live tab on his channel, and it's empty. Like he deleted everything. He started a new channel doing military shipbuilding, and good luck to him for that. But I think he got a little crazy with the whole thing. It's like, this is where you're at. Deal with it. Thomas says Freight Car Friday is going to be his live stream, so everybody trying to remember that. It'll take me a while before I'll actually remember that, but I'll write it down. Tom says, I get more views on Rumble with 132 followers than on YouTube with nearly 27,000. I know, and it's weird, isn't it? But not really, because a lot of people are flocking away from YouTube because of all the bullshit, and Rumble really is the place to be. I did set up a channel for my Shortline Thursday on Rumble so that when the time comes, it will be there when I'm ready to use it. I don't know when that's going to happen. I'll probably wait a little longer and see what goes on with YouTube, but if YouTube gets to the point where I have to be so careful with what I say, that I might get banned, and I may let them ban me, hell with them. If you ban me, fine, I'll go to Rumble. No big deal, I'm sure some of y'all will follow me, hopefully. But, they're driving people away with this bullshit, and they got nobody to blame but themselves, So what if you don't like Biden? So what if you're convinced that the vote was stolen or whatever, or Hunter's a pervert? It's all true anyway, probably, but it doesn't matter. Why are the Democrats so afraid of what could possibly be the truth that they're willing to force social media to ban certain speech? There's something wrong there, and it's going to bite them in the ass. You watch. I think it's 6 o'clock, Derek, if I remember correctly. 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And Dave says, Jim, too many people worrying too much over this YouTube crap. Just go on and have fun. It's a fun place for everyone to hang out. None of us is going to get rich on it. Well, exactly. I'm not worried about it. I don't care one way or the other, I mean, if I make a few bucks, I make a few bucks. But I'm not going to obsess over it. I mean, I was stuck at 276 subs, I think, for like 3 years, And I started doing the shorts, and it really does help. Dwight Crowley told me to do the shorts, and I listened to him, and it really did help my sub count. Was I that concerned with it? Not really. I mean, it's kind of more of a vanity thing. You like bragging, right? I got 500 subs. Good for me, right? But It's not much of a bragging right, but But do I worry about? Am I gonna get on and say, well, I only got 411 subs, and I'm just sick of you guys. You're not subbing to my channel, so fuck you. I'm gonna shut down the channel. You will never hear me say that, okay? Because I'm doing this for fun. I said this 2 years ago when the subject came up about monetizing and stuff. I enjoy doing this. I have fun. I like talking to you guys. I like listening to you guys. I like seeing what you do. You like seeing what I do. We're having a blast. And sometimes we do get into politics and other weird conversations. And there's a few subscribers that get upset with it, but can't please everybody. And sorry guys, but the world does not revolve around you, and you're just going to have to deal with it. But that's how I feel about it. Real simple. Yeah, I think you're right, Dave. Vinny got to the point where it wasn't any fun. And it could be. But once again, I think he really convinced himself that it was everybody else's fault that they weren't subbing to him. It wasn't anybody's fault. I mean, I like Vinny. I like his content. I would watch him because, now I like him for one, but I like to watch what he's doing. He does some interesting builds. I see it as educational and fun to watch. He's a funny guy. I mean, he's not too crazy serious or anything, but I think he let a false representation of where he should be get to his head, and he just got to the point where he says, well, if I can't be number one, then I'll just shut it down. And I may be exaggerating, but I really think that that's what happened. Thomas Moore says, Derek, every Friday, 6 p.m. Standard Time. There you go. Everybody write that down on your make-believe calendar. Or the calendar in your head, anyway. That's where mine is. Costas agreed. Yeah. And so does James. And that's true. We really are doing this for fun. I think. I know I am. I enjoy the hobby. When I got back into this, I was like, this is great, Before I got back into trades, my hobby was cars. I built cars, man. I did some crazy shit. I've got I had a tandem axle Pontiac Le Mans that I built. I did all kinds of weird custom mods and stuff on many cars. I built engines, not bullshit engines. I mean, I built, 400, 500, 600 horse motors. That was my thing, and I was good at it. And I never thought to do a YouTube video on any of that stuff at the time, but, but that's what I did. That was my hobby, and I had fun with it. Until, like I said, after I had the stroke, I really couldn't do it anymore, which sucks. I wanted to build from the ground up one more car. And I'm not going to get to do it because I don't have the physical ability to do it. And I've got some drawings floating around, in my records, of some of the designs I had, which are real futuristic. And I wanted to build a car literally from the ground up, starting from scratch. Mid-engine, heavily electronic. All the cool shit, gullwing doors that are powered. I had all this stuff. I got plans for all this shit, right? Blueprints, schematics, everything I designed. But it's not going to happen because I don't have the physical ability to be able to do a lot of this stuff anymore, You're not going to see me hoisting a differential and setting it, in place on the frame. I don't have the strength anymore. Can't do it, And I don't have anybody, I've only got 2 sons, and one's trans, I think, and the other one's in the military for a career, And my daughters, they can't help. I mean, they don't have the physical ability either, so. And my wife, she's my age. She can't really do it, so, I'm just not doing it. I don't have the money anyway. What I used to be able to do for a couple $1,000 now costs 20. It's crazy. Tom says, Derek Alexander, my ad revenue was double this time last year. Views were up even though it was summer. November, the shit hit the fan. Everything dropped on YouTube. Yeah. Like I said, something happened there. Yeah, you got that right, Raymond. Buck Fiden. Uh, Thomas Moore wants to know, has anybody heard of Takis Roman noodles? No. Don't know what they are. But meat can be a plant or fertilizer. For a plant, if it dies and lays on the ground long enough. Yeah. Okay. I'm not eating fake meat. I don't give a damn how it was made or whatever, or even lab-grown meat. There are times Bill Gates has developed a. He's actually growing meat, real cow meat, but it's grown. It's like cloning, I guess. I'm not touching that shit, man. You have no idea what that might do to you next year, 10 years, or even tomorrow. You know, these idiots, they're going to screw the whole human race over with this crap. You don't fuck with the food. The number one rule in life. Don't fuck with the food. And they're doing it. Derek says, Tom, that's interesting. I would have thought summer contributed to it. Did it go down more in the summer? And Tom says it always goes down in the summer, but it went down drastically all over YouTube in November. Kyle says, wasn't that there a cleanup then, Tom? Yeah, it sounds like it probably was. Thomas says it took 24 hours to activate the damn lives. I don't understand that. That might be something new, because when I started, I just hit the button. I was alive. I don't know. Dave says he may have gotten 85 million votes. Maybe half were legal. Yeah, probably. A lot of dead people voted, unfortunately. Tom says November is typically the highest revenue pot for ad, but it tanked last November and has been going downhill since. Well, I think personally it's their stance on censorship. I think a lot of the channel guys, because everybody talks about politics at some point. I don't care what you're doing. Somewhere Biden's name's going to come up, or Trump, or something. Even if it's just for a minute. And a lot of these guys probably got warnings or strikes, and said, this ain't worth it. Now, I know a lot of the I guess you call them bloggers. They went over and migrated over to Rumble or Odyssey or BitChute, any of the other social media things out there, because they don't censor you. But YouTube has gotten actually worse than Facebook. I don't deal with Facebook for the same reason. I used to post my videos on Facebook when I post them online. I don't even bother doing it anymore, even though they're not harmful, but you never know, I'm talking about train videos, I was doing a Wise Guy too. They actually blacked me out some of my Wise Guy videos. They blacked out the link on YouTube so you couldn't go to it. There's something wrong there. James says, Thomas, why that time I don't have that issue? That's a good question. Anybody living in the D.C. area going to the Dulles train show August 19th through 20th? That's too far north for me, Anthony. But if anybody else is going, let Anthony know. He'll probably want to hook up with him or something. Kyle says, odd time. Well, maybe not. Like I said, I think it's got something to do with the censorship. I really do. And of course, when people leave YouTube, that means revenue goes down. And if revenue goes down, that means they're going to have to start chopping money here and there so that they don't lose too much. So that means if they're going to steal some of your revenue, they're going to do it, It's not so much that they're stealing your revenue, but they're not paying out as much. And who knows what they're really doing with that money. Let's say you make $100 a month on your YouTube channel. And that's after they get the 30%. And they're thinking, well, we need to pick up a few more bucks. Let's cut his viewership hours down or something. make it look like he's not getting as much revenue, and we'll take that revenue and pocket it. We just won't tell them. They could be doing this. You don't know. You know, they may be taking that revenue that you lost, Tom, and put it in their own pockets. How could you prove they aren't? You can't. You know, you're at their mercy as to what you think you should make. Tom says, Kyle, no, all YouTubers were feeling it, even creators with over 1 million subs are. Well, of course, like I said, I think YouTube's probably having some financial issues because of their censorship, and they're simply going to steal that money back somehow, They're like the government. The government does the same thing. Oh, we're going to give you a $1,500 stimulus check. We'll get it back later on, twice over. And that's exactly what they're doing, They find some way to tax you or penalize you some other way, and they wind up getting the money back anyway. You didn't get nothing. They just, kissed your ass for a minute, and they, stuck it up your ass afterwards. Problem is, most people don't see it. Hey, Artie, you back? Yeah, I'm still at it. We're actually talking about YouTube and how they're basically screwing over the monetized guys that have channels. So, am I buffering, Mike? I'm not aware of that. I don't have my monitor up for anything. I mean, here I look good. I've got 0 drop frames. I'm in the green. CPU is running at 21%, 60 frames per second. So it might be on your end. I'm not sure. Nuclear advisor. I don't know the reference to that. Kyle says no buffering here. That's good. I said on my board I'm looking good, so I don't know. Trainman says, Thomas, you're going to do a test stream beforehand. Try to work out the. That's a good idea, Thomas. I did that too. I think I did 3 or 4 tests, live stream tests, before I really did an actual live stream. I mean, it was live, but it's like what I'm doing. Today's a test because I'm reviewing my chat overlay on the screen because I was having issues with it lately. I'm hoping I got the bugs worked out. We'll see. But yeah, it never hurts to make sure you got everything going, because what happened to me yesterday, a few days prior, I changed the resolution on OBS to 1080. And when I went online, because I should have tested, I would have known. When I finally went live, it was buffering bad, it was choppy, it was freezing up because I changed it to 1080. So I had to shut down the stream, go back to 720, refire it up, and it was fine from there. That was my stupidity for not testing it. I just, that makes sense. It'll be better. Yeah, not always. Let's see. Oh, here we go. I have to back it up here. Alright, he says, Waycross, it's hard to do plans for other people as everyone pictures an eye. Well, that's true, too. That's why I said you'd have to, input is one thing. I've been asked to help out with a few track plans, and I'll be more than happy to do it, but realistically, whoever's doing the layout, they're going to have the final say on it, and, I may be able to throw an idea at them. They may go for it, they may not, but that's all you can do. It's the same with me. If a lot of people say, why don't you get a professional track plan done? Well, 1, I couldn't afford it, and 2, I probably wouldn't like it anyway because it wouldn't be mine, I'm funny that way. I mean, if I'm doing something, I gotta do it. If somebody else does it for me, well, that's not really my idea, Now, if somebody helps me, that's one thing. So, so they come and say, well, why don't you run your main. Oh, actually, Dave Thurber did help me on my lap because I was going to have, I think originally, 4 mains? And Dave wrote me a letter. He said, you can't have 4 mains. Nobody has 4 main lines. I'm thinking, all right, maybe that works. That makes sense. So I shit-canned 2 of them for that reason, and figured, well, I'll just have 2, which is more prototypical. So I thank Dave Thurber for that. Dave, if you're still on, thank you much. Because otherwise, I would have built 4 mains, you know, and it would have been stupid, really, and it really wouldn't have been beneficial to me. So, you know, that was helpful, but ultimately, I did make the final decision, but I had a little input there to help sway me in the right direction, you know. So, like I said, it all depends what you think. It's your railroad. Do it however the hell you want. You know, it's just really the bottom line on it. And Waycross says, or Derek says, Waycross, you would get a lot of suggestions, but not all of them would be good, so you would have to examine them, but it would be interesting. Well, exactly, and it's basically giving you ideas. You know, when I did my track plan, the original one, which I couldn't use anyway, I was on the internet pouring through track plans from different places based on the 20 by 30 shed that I thought I was going to have. And that's what I patterned my track plan over. And I ultimately came up with a nice track plan. However, I couldn't get the 20 by 30 building, so I had to redo the track plan for 12 by 32. And, you know, it was tough, but I had a lot of good ideas from looking at other people's layouts, and it was helpful, but in the end, it was still my final decision that, you know, that made it happen. Mike says, refresh the page, all good now, my bad. Okay, that's cool. And Dave says, come on, Jim, 81 million votes, the sheep will love him. Of course they do. You know, I probably wouldn't have got that many votes if I ran for president because nobody knows me, but at least they'd be legitimate votes. All 10 of them, you know. Yeah, I probably am. That's happening. Let me jump ahead here a little bit. See if there's anything. Anthony says I'm about a half an hour behind. I could be. I'm just following Dave. You know, Dave Thurber does that all the time. I think we're competing to see who can get farthest behind in the chat, you know. He does it on Morning Brew. I do it on my show. Rick says, I want Trump in again if DeSantis gets in his way. You know, I like DeSantis. He's a decent governor. But lately, and I don't know how much of it's true, but they're saying he is really becoming kind of a dictator of sorts, you know. And maybe this whole anti-woke thing is going to his head. I understand it. Because if you put me in charge of Florida, you think DeSantis is bad? You have no idea what I would do, you know. I'd run the gays out. I'd run the illegals out. That's it. You're out of here. This is my state. You're not welcome here. Get the hell out while you still can, you know. That's what I would do. Of course, that wouldn't work, but, you know. But that's what, in my mind, I wish I would do. And that's kind of what DeSantis is leaning toward. And I don't disagree with him, but you have to tread very carefully when you're running for president that you don't. And let me explain this. It's screwed up a little bit, but I knew I could never run because I have no name recognition. You know, if I were to say I'm going to run for president, people go, who the hell are you? You know, I'd never win. But if I were in a position where I could run and actually possibly win, what I would do is I'd play the game till I got in, you know. And I would say, all right, yeah, I'm okay with abortion. I'm not pro-abortion, but I don't have a problem with it. And, you know, LGBT, they're kind of okay, you know. I'm not going to I would lie, you know, until I got in. And once I took the oath, it's all over. There's going to be no more abortion. LGBTQ, you get the hell out of my country because you don't belong here, you know. And I'd probably be assassinated shortly thereafter. But but that's the way I would do it. If you stand up in front and say, well, I'm pro-life, and I'm anti-LGBTQ, and I'm anti-this and anti-that, and pro-that, you're not going to get in because there's not enough of the good people in this country, the conservatives, I think, to actually get you in. Or if there is, the other side's going to cheat to some degree to make sure you lose. And that's where the problem is. If they think you're middle of the road, maybe, that you might be controllable, they're more likely to let you in. But if they know you're going to be a loose cannon, you're going to do what's technically right for the American people, you know. And that's why I said they didn't think Trump would win. That's why they didn't really fight him until he actually won. They thought he was going to lose to Hillary. I would have voted for my left foot before I voted for Clinton. Seriously. If she would have got in, we wouldn't be having this conversation right now. We'd either be dead or imprisoned or something, you know. It would, or we'd be learning Chinese probably. So the reality is that you have to be careful what you're going to do and say before you get in. The good news is most people like DeSantis for Florida. We don't want him to leave Florida because if he leaves, we don't know what we'll get to replace him. Could be somebody better, could be somebody worse, you know. And that's the worst thing. I hate going backwards, you know. And the reality is, I don't think DeSantis is going to cut it as president. Not this time. Maybe in 28, you know. If he's still around and he does really good in Florida, I'd say he has a good chance. Right now, I mean, people know him, but they don't necessarily know him for good things. Some do. But some know him for not so good things, you know. He's anti-gay. He's pro-life, you know. He's pro-censorship for the liberals, which I can't technically disagree with, but it could come back and bite everybody in the ass, and I think a lot of people know that, you know. Do I think that it's a good thing to ban certain books from the schools? Absolutely. I don't want my 8-year-old reading a book about anal sex, okay, at 8 years old. There's no place in that for his age. That does not belong in the schools. But the problem is, now they're going further. They started out with good intentions, but, you know, they're banning some Shakespeare books. They're banning some popular movies. You know. I don't understand why, you know. When I was in school, there was a lot of controversy over a book called The Catcher in the Rye. Some of you have probably read it, at least most of you have heard of it. It wasn't that big of a deal. I read the book. It didn't change me any. But they tried relentlessly to have that book banned from all school libraries. You know, that was foolishness. So you have to be careful how you pick your fights in politics. Derek said they voted for brain dead. Well, you know, I got to be careful how I phrase it, but you know how he really won, right? The same way Biden did. Artie for president. There you go, Dave. I'd vote for Artie. I'd probably regret it, but I'd still vote for him. George Bush was a turncoat. He was a New World Order person. Both the Bushes were, him and his dad. I didn't trust him. I didn't like him. He was complicit in 9/11. There's enough evidence to prove that. Remember when the first plane hit the building, the tower, and he was reading a story to the kids in school? You ever notice the book was upside down? It really was. He wasn't reading that book. It was a photo op to make him look like, oh my God, we're being attacked. We got to do something. He knew full well what was going to happen because I'm still convinced that was an inside job. All right? And the fact that 3 of the 7 or 9 or however many terrorists are still alive, including Mohammed Atta. He's alive, by the way. They've actually shown him alive after 9/11. What did he do, jump out the plane before it hit the building? You know, he wasn't even in America. The whole thing was a setup. It was probably designed to take away something. Remember, after 9/11, they came up with the Patriot Act, which was definitely un-American. You know, and this is what they do. They set these things up. Well, we got to do something. Because if we don't do something now, this might happen again and more will die. You know. Same with these school shootings. Not that I got in trouble for this, but they say most of the school shootings weren't real. At least not technically real. You know. Some may not have even happened. They might have been training exercises. Or, and I'm thinking more likely, they took people that weren't right in the head and brainwashed them and said, look, we're going to give you $1 million. I want you to take this fake gun and go in that school and pretend to shoot up the place. And this nut job goes into school thinking he's got a fake gun, pulls the trigger, next thing you know, people are dying. Well, he's already started, might as well continue. And there you go, one engineered school shooting. I mean, seriously, who wakes up in the morning saying, I'm going to get my AR-15 and a few hundred rounds, maybe a few thousand rounds, and go find a school and kill innocent kids? Who the hell does that? You would not do that unless something in your head told you to do it. You know, I don't think you'd come up with that by yourself. I could be wrong, but that's my attitude on it. That's true, Dave. Derek PA actually elected a dead guy, and it wasn't Fetterman. The guy had passed away before they could take his name off the ballot, so they left the name on the ballot, and he won, even though he was dead. Which probably tells you one or two things. Either the American people and the Pennsylvania people are incredibly stupid, you know, or somebody's cheating. It's one or the other, you know. I mean, usually if a politician dies, it's plastered everywhere. You know, they don't really try and hide it. So you would think that most of the voting populace know, well, he's dead, you know. And why don't they just cross out that name on the ballot, you know? And if anybody else, well, you know, he's dead, so you can't vote for him, you know. And that would have solved that problem. Instead, no, they left it open. Yeah, go ahead and vote for him. Maybe he's really secretly alive anyway. Stupidity. Artie says, thanks, Crooked River. Me as president, I'll make Trump look like an amateur. Yeah, probably would. I don't know. You know, most of us have good ideas. They're probably not legal or constitutional, but they're still good ideas, you know. And I told my wife the other night, I says, you know, realistically, and even though this would never happen, but what we really need is, just for a short time, like maybe a year, is an actual dictator to clean up this country. But he'd have to be like a really good dictator, you know, like not an asshole dictator. But because the president doesn't really have a lot of power. They think he does, but realistically he doesn't. Most of your laws and bills go through Congress and the Senate. The president may, well, he has to sign a lot of stuff in the end, but, you know, if Trump got up on TV and says, you know, starting tomorrow, I want to institute the death penalty for all drug dealers, which he says he's going to do, and he needs to. You know, if you're a drug dealer, yeah, you should face the rope or the firing squad or something. You should be dead. You're killing people. You're guilty of murder. If you take a life, you should have to, you know, forfeit your own. But he can't get up on TV as president and say, look, I'm directing the country to now execute all drug dealers. First off, a whole bunch of drug dealers probably take them to court. Some of the courts, I don't know if the Supreme Court would, but some of the courts would find for the drug dealers, oh no, that's not constitutional. You can't kill them even though they're criminals, guilty of killing other people. You know. That's the stupidity of it, and that's where the problem lies. You know. We have a constitution. We have the original, I think, was it 13 amendments or however many, 10 amendments? Those are codified. That's the law. The law. And yet, the states, the politicians, they ignore it every day. And if somebody takes them to court, sometimes the court fines for the politician or the business or whatever, even though they're violating the Constitution. This has to stop. You know, if I were president, the first law I would try and pass is those 10 amendments, that's the law. Every law under that has to work within that law. Otherwise, it's null and void. Which means your Second Amendment means if you can hold your weapon, it's legal. You know. Well, what about the bad guys? Well, so what? They'll be dispatched soon enough. They're getting them anyway. You think they're going to pay attention to the laws? Not likely, you know. Or First Amendment, same thing. Freedom of religion. We don't truly have freedom of religion anymore. You know, why? This country, we're doing things in this country that was never designed or allowed by the Constitution. But nobody's actually, you know, the president takes an oath of office, you know which one I'm talking about, and immediately breaks that oath. And nobody calls him on it. You know, there's something wrong here. Hey, Rick says already for president and his rabbit for vice president. There you go. Derek said, Dave, you're right. Well, he is right. Insider trading is illegal. Well, here, anyways. One political member got fired this week and is looking for jail time now. Oh, they should. But it is illegal here, too, Artie. But like I said, Pelosi, the old Speaker of the House, she's been insider trading for something like 30 years. She's worth billions of dollars. She didn't earn that money because, you know, a senator only makes, I think, well, at the time, I think was like $180,000 a year. Even over 30 years, that math don't add up to billions, and I think she's worth $168 billion. She got that money from somewhere, and it wasn't legal. You know. Alright, so now he got it. Rick says the VP would be placing holes everywhere for the blind to fall into. There you go. Derek said, Trump said I just need one more indictment to secure my election. That's true. All they're doing is guaranteeing he'll get elected, you know. And it really is true, you know. That's that Sir Jim T. I wouldn't go that far. Jim, I thought you was Greek. No, I'm Italian. Well, mostly Italian with some Hungarian, because my mother was part Italian and part Hungarian. My dad was full Italian, and his family line goes all the way back, I guess, to the Roman days. So they're all Italian or Roman, as it were. Where my mother, her family were mostly Hungarian, but somewhere along the line, an Italian jumped the border into Hungary and, you know, did their deed. So I generally consider myself, you know, about 95% Italian. And I'm proud of it. Wait, gay is happy. Can't use those words for sexy. Used to be that way. Remember the gay 20s and the gay 30s? Yeah, they weren't queers back then either. I mean, there were, but they had nothing to do with that whole gay thing, you know. That's bullshit. Big Jim, this comment was added at 9:36 p.m. Holy shit, it's 10:15 already? Wow, the time's flying. What the hell happened here? Well, let me jump ahead here. 7 minutes. Rick says, I'm here to have fun, make some new friends, and talk to... Yeah, same here, man. We're all here for the same reason, I hope. You know. Derek says, Artie, thank you for asking me. I don't want anyone to know it was for me. There you go. Artie says, I'm here to have fun and meet great people. And, you know, we're all great people, man. And we all have fun, and we all have our unique things, you know. Not everything, but everybody has something they do exceptionally well, you know. And that's cool, and you get to share it, and I mean, how could you go wrong with that, you know? 9 minutes. As Les says, we are so alike. Yeah, probably. You know, my wife, she's kind of a liberal, not a real bad one. I'm slowly changing her, but when we first met, she had some really stupid, because she went to college, you know, and colleges turn you into a bleeding heart liberal, unfortunately. I had to undo the damage. But she used to get so mad. She said, I don't know where you get these ideas from, you know, because this is normal, you know. Men have sex with women, women have sex with men, not men having sex with men or women having sex with women, you know. My kids go to school and learn reading, writing, and arithmetic, not how to be gay, you know. Um, this is all common sense stuff. You know, people would say I'm old school. I guess I am, even though I'm not really that old, but I think like my dad did and his dad before him and so on and so forth. And that's the way it's supposed to be, you know. Yeah, I was watching a video today and they were talking about how they're screwing up the kids today. And he says the bottom line, he says, you hear the gays say, we're here, we're queer, we're coming for your kids. In a way, they're actually telling you the truth. Not so, well, they're going to turn them gay too, but mostly to turn them against the parents and turn them against society. And he said, you look today, he said, all this stuff started happening around mid-90s, 1994, 1995. And he's right, because I saw it myself. They started pitting the kids against their parents, I remember my daughters came home, they were in 2nd and 3rd grade. And see, what did you guys learn today in school? We learned that you and Mommy can't hit us anymore. Really? And why can't we do it? Well, if they do, you'll go to jail. I said, all right, well, let me explain something to you. If Mommy and Daddy go to jail, you'll be going to a home with people you don't know and don't care about you, and they will not treat you well. They will abuse you. They will not feed you well. They will not take care of you. And you will never see Mommy and Daddy ever again. Is that what you want? Well, they didn't tell us that. Of course they did, because they lied to you. I says, when we hit you, when we discipline you, because you did something wrong, that was bad enough to where we want to make sure you don't do it again. And sometimes you don't listen when we tell you something, so we have to tell you with the back of our hand instead, It's the way I grew up, Actually, I was more lenient with my kids than my parents were with me. My kids always got one chance, If you screw up and you didn't know, well, I can't really hold that against you. But now you know, so if you do it again, you may get the belt, you may get my hand on your butt, But you're going to get punished for it, We're not going to sit down and talk about it. We're not going to discuss it. We're not going to negotiate whether you're in trouble or not, because I'm the parent and you're the kid. And until you turn 18, I own you. And I love my kids, and they knew I did, and they loved me as well, along with their mother. But the schools, and I went to the school the next day and I read them the riot act. It says, how dare you tell my kids that I cannot discipline them or I'll go to jail. I said, let me tell you something. You try and put me in jail for disciplining my kids, I'll be going to jail for a different reason. I'll let you sit around and figure that out. You don't tell me how to raise my kids. Your job, you have one job and one job only. You will teach my kids how to read, write, do arithmetic, learn some history, learn a little geography, and that's it. You leave the rest of that stuff to me and their mother. They're like, sir, you need to calm down. No, I don't need to calm down. You need to back the fuck off, And I didn't care, and I've threatened teachers many a time, even the principal. I says, you don't want to screw with me, okay? I'm not some pansy-ass motherfucker that's going to play your shit and take it. Trust me, it will get ugly. I may go to prison, I don't care. But you won't be around to worry about it, And I never had anybody threaten to call a cop. Yeah, go ahead and call a cop, because you won't have, they won't get here quick enough to save your life. So if you're ready to die, go ahead and call them, I actually did tell a principal that once. He threatened to call the cops on me. You really want to go there? You're dealing with an Italian, right? You know how Italians are? We have family. You know what kind of family I'm talking about? And a lot of them were scared about that because they thought I was hooked to the mafia. I wasn't, but they didn't know that. So I utilized whatever I had to do to get things done. But, I think most people feel the way I do. We want to live our lives, raise our kids, protect our families, make them, hopefully make them a little better than us. Enjoy our wives or husbands, whatever the case may be, and just enjoy life until the day we die, But there are people on this planet that are not happy with that They want us to suffer and beg and have total, complete control over every aspect of our lives. I have a problem with that. I'm sure most y'all do too, you know. So yeah, we all think alike. We need to. God wants to know 10 minutes to what? The apocalypse? Well, you never know. Les says, yep, Artie, you're another from the same school. That's true, you know. We're all old school. We may be the last generation that has half a brain. I don't know, you know. Unfortunately, a lot of the Gen Zers, they're, so they tell, it may not be true. I don't know any Gen Zers, but they're saying a lot of them are just going along with this whole socialist crap and big daddy government. And, you know, they're going to regret that day, trust me. Because if it ever happens, they probably won't be around to enjoy it very long. Let's see. Ramen same as the other ones? Could be. Soy burger. I don't like soy. I've had it before. It's not real, you know. And it's not good for men. It'll ruin your manhood. Trust me. I've actually read that. There's medical evidence that it does actually affect your masculinity. Not good. Let's see. I'm almost caught up here. That's why I hate jumping ahead like this. Derek says, Kyle, I wrote a comment at 9:36 p.m. and that is the amount of time that has passed, so we see how far behind you is in the chat. That's alright, guys. It happens. I get to flapping my jaws and, you know, it's 18 minutes now. There you go. I'm almost caught up, though, so we're good to go. Tom says, YouTube is pushing memberships, super chats, and everything else to compensate for the ad revenue loss. Yeah, that makes sense. I'm not surprised, but you know, they're screw. If they would lift the censorship, I think that would help tremendously. I think they would get a lot more people back, and they also need to improve things like notifications, you know, and maybe not taking 30% off the top for, you know, ad revenue. I think they could probably do well, but remember, YouTube is probably run by a bunch of damn Democrats. So, you know. I don't know. Yeah, there you go, Kyle. Seems like ever since that whole COPPA stuff came out, YouTube has been screwed up. I think that's when it started going into its decline. I know a lot of people were scared and they just left the platform. You know, I didn't really care about free. Well, you know what? You shut me off. You shut me off. I'll just go somewhere else. But I'm not going to voluntarily leave because I'm not going to make your life that easy. You want me out, you're going to have to push a little bit. And that's why I was kind of upset that so many people shut down their channels and moved to other platforms. You're thinking, well, you know, you're giving up, you know. And you shouldn't do that. You should stand up and fight until they literally shut you off. And it's like, all right, fine. Now I can move and I'll have a good conscience about it. All right, I'm caught up. Tom says, YouTube got screwed ever since Google. Well, yeah, Google fucks up everything, you know. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the Nest smoke alarms. As a matter of fact, I have one here. I was testing for them. You can see it right up on the wall, that white square thing over on the left-hand side of the screen. I have like 12 of them. I was beta testing them. I think I've been doing it now for like 12 years. But, now I'm kind of out of the thing here. Fix that a little bit. There we go. They were fine when Nest was by themselves. Well, Google bought Nest. And as soon as Google bought them, it all went to hell. When Nest was running it, they took care of us testers, you know, because the batteries go bad every year. Well, it takes those damn ever-ready lithiums. They're expensive batteries, you know, like $25 for 8 of them now. So they would send me batteries as needed. Of course, I was testing, so there was a lot of, you know, things that we had to talk back and forth to make improvements and stuff. But they really took care of us, and these things are good for 10 years. So at the end of 10 years, they started replacing them. Well, Google took over. No more batteries. They literally told me buy your own damn batteries. You know, oh, I'm testing your equipment. You know, well, you got to buy your own batteries. Well, you know what? If I got to buy the batteries, the equipment's mine now. Screw you. You know, and they wouldn't replace the ones that were out of date. So literally, I just throw them away. I've thrown away like 4 of them already. You know. So I got so fed up, but I just, you know what? I erased everything on the platform and went to a private, app on there, and I'm no longer testing as far as I'm concerned. And yes, I own these. You know, screw them. And then, of course, they gave me a second thermostat out. Google gave me the original smart thermostat that I had, and I liked it. It was a good thermostat. Well, or Nest rather. When Google took over, they changed the thermostat. So they said, well, you can have the old thermostat, but we're going to send you the newer one. We want you to use that instead. I just recently found out that there's a microphone in that thermostat. They're spying on us through the damn thermostat. So I dug up my old one. I gotta get to it. I dick around, but I'm gonna put the old one back up that was owned by Nest. It worked great, and I had no problems with it. And it looks nicer. And I'll take that one from Nest and pop it in the trash, because that's where it belongs. Or from Google, rather. Google does screw up everything they touch, you know. Yeah, if you guys got Gmail accounts, there's a lot of guys are having problems with Gmail now. Once again, Google owns that, you know. You can't trust anything with googly eyes anyway. Now, I don't know if anybody's updated the chat here. It might have locked up again. I don't know. But the last one I got on here was Tom saying YouTube, this one I got on the screen here. Has anybody typed in anything since then? Well, I wouldn't know, because, let me see here. Let me open up. Actually, it looks like I'm really, really far behind. Okay, so that didn't solve anything. How far behind am I? Shit, maybe far behind or what? I might be way far behind. I don't know what the hell I'm going to do with this. Obviously the chat stopped again. I think. I don't know what I'm going to do with this. This Twidget thing that I'm using doesn't work well. And it seems like there's a time limit on it. I run about, let's see, when did I think I went on, what, about 8 o'clock, 8 to 9, 9 to 10. And it should have even quit this early, but it seems like it did. Alright, well, that's going to kill that test, I guess. I hate this. There's no updates for this whatsoever. Matter of fact, the guy who invented it, this Twidget chat overlay, he stopped messing with it altogether back in 21. Here we are, almost 24. Now there's another one out there, but I don't like the way it works, and I'm not going to use it. I looked into running OBS through StreamYard. It's not that hard, but still, once again, it's a pain in the ass. So I don't know, I may just have to deal with this and that's the way it is. It pisses me off though, one way or the other. I'm going to restart the chat, not the stream, but the chat, and see if that makes a difference. It probably won't. Where is the chat anyway? Oh, wait a minute. Where the hell am I? YouTube. I'm not sure how far behind I am. Looks like quite a bit though. Alright, let me what was it waiting for? Let me type it in again. HTTPS colon see if that works. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. Alright, let's see how that works now. OBS back up there and the chat and see. Let's see where I'm at here. Okay. Alright, let's see here. Daryl, is it YouTube or Google? I don't know. Internet. Daryl says YouTube. Alright, he says need to wait for the cordless screwdriver to charge up. There you go. Those are handy to have. I got one. Train Man says Amtrak will be here before he will. Quite possibly. Alright, at least I'm caught up to the chat now, I guess. For the moment, I don't know how long it'll last, but I don't know how to fix this. There's no real way to get into it. It seems almost like there's a timer in there that gives you so much time or maybe so many chat sentences, and then it, alright, we're done. You know, we're going to lock up now. And I guess that's what it seems like it's doing. For some reason, nobody's working on anything new. There's something called Chat Pipe. I haven't been able to find it. The guy who invented Twidget supposedly started working on this Chat Pipe, which is supposed to be the same thing but better, but I can't find it anywhere. So I don't know what the hell is going on. I'll keep looking though. And for all I know, it locked up again anyway, because this is the last thing that I've got on my chat. Let me see where that is. Yeah, something ain't right here, I don't think. Wait a minute. Derek says, Big Jim, you were 40 minutes behind. Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. Jim, how can I fix buffering on my live stream? You have to go to YouTube Studio, and on the it's kind of hard to explain, but you go to your streaming statistics or something to that effect, and there'll be three positives: low latency, normal latency, and high latency. I think you click on a low latency, and it will help improve that. Now, if your internet itself is slow, it won't matter. There's no way to fix that. It shouldn't make a difference whether you use an iPhone or not, I don't think. I'm not 100% sure. Like I said, I would look at the latency settings on there and go from there. And you would do that in YouTube Studio. So you open up YouTube Studio, and then I don't have it handy here, but I don't think. See if I can bring it up. I can maybe walk you through it. YouTube. Alright, let me get YouTube Studio. When you click on your picture in YouTube, So you go to, I think it's content on the left. And this is really hard to explain. Let's see, to do the view on YouTube maybe? I think, or maybe it's settings. It's just tough for me to do. Channel maybe? Advanced settings. I'm not sure how to get to it right now, but you do it in YouTube Studio, and that's about the best advice I can give you at the moment. Let me put this back up here. Yeah, it looks like my chat quit again anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and end this now. Besides that, it's later than I thought it was. I think time gets away from me when you're not paying attention. I said it was earlier, just a few minutes ago it seemed like. Anyway, guys, thanks for hanging out with me, and we won't actually call this a successful test because it really wasn't. I still have the same problem throughout the rest of this week, or in the coming week before my live stream. I will be working with different ideas and trying to get this corrected. I don't know whether I will or not, but I'll give it a shot. In the meantime, you guys have a good and safe weekend, and don't do anything I wouldn't do. I'm not going to waste my time with the outro or anything. I'm just going to shut her down. So, appreciate y'all hanging out, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.